So next topic, next point from this topic. So that is hypothalamic regulation, or you can say the hypothalamic nuclei and their functions. So already we have studied the hormones, different hormones of pituitary gland. So the anterior lobe of pituitary secretes what type of hormones you know. Middle lobe of pituitary secretes what type of hormone you know. And posterior lobe of pituitary secretes what type of hormones you know. So likewise here we have studied the three kinds of hormones, so which are secreted by the pituitary gland at these different lobes, and they are useful to carry out the major endocrine gland secretions, and these secretions will be released by the particular concerned glands of the body, and they are taking part in the, you can say, in the regulation of the body. So what is the hypothalamic regulation for release of pituitary hormones? So here the hypothalamic regulation for release of pituitary hormones, for release of pituitary hormones. So this is one kind of you can say the physiologically the pituitary gland has two parts, that is adenohypophysis or anterior lobe and neurohypophysis or posterior lobe. So this adenohypophysis is a highly vascular organ which secretes 6 types of different hormones, and it plays an important role to control the various metabolic activities of the body. Adenohypophysis receives the blood supply from two sources. So that is anterior supply by hypothalamic hypophyseal portal system, and the hypothalamus is the part of forebrain lying immediately below the thalamus. And you know, at the ventral side of the brain, the end part of the forebrain, which shows the thalamus, and in that region, the particular anterior lobe of pituitary, and this control is automatically the automatic control of that particular hypothalamus. So many of the automatic functions will be carried out by the hypothalamus. After the blood passes through the hypothalamus, particularly through the lower part of the hypothalamic hypophyseal portal vein, that part of the adenohypophysis, and particularly this blood flows through this large number of venous system or sinuses that bar the adenohypophysis. That means majority of the venous blood which is passes above the or passes through this adenohypophysis, and that will act as a bathing. You know the bath, to take bath, angol karne. So this hypophysis is having a bath, and this hypothalamus secretes the series of different neurosecretory substances, and that releasing inhibitory factor or simply neurohormones. And these factors are secreted into the blood of hypothalamic hypophyseal portal system, and that transported to the venous sinuses, and finally the bloodstream of the adenohypophysis. There are 6 prominent factors that secrete the hypothalamus and controls the anterior pituitary secretion. So there are some inhibitory factors, or you can say the prominent factors. Due to that, the hypothalamic regulation will be carried out. So first one is TRF. So TRF, that is thyroid releasing factor. Thyroid releasing factor. Releasing factor. So that is a TRF. TRF, that is thyroid releasing factor. So that stimulate the anterior pituitary to release the thyroid stimulating hormone. The anterior lobe of pituitary, which secretes the TRF, that is thyroid releasing factor, and that will stimulate to thyroid gland or pituitary gland to release the thyroid releasing stimulating hormone. So likewise there is another hormone, that is second one is CRF, that is CRF. So this CRF, that is corticosteroid or corticotropin releasing factor. So corticotropin releasing factor, corticotropin releasing factor. So this is the second most releasing factor, which causes the adrenocorticotropin hormone or corticotropin from anterior pituitary. So this is another factor which will release the particular factor, that is CRF from pituitary gland. There will be that will be also the anterior lobe of the pituitary. Then GRF. Next, that is third factor, that is GRF. That is growth releasing factor. That is growth hormone releasing factor. GRF or GHRF. That is growth releasing factor. So this growth releasing factor increases adenohypophysis or anterior lobe of pituitary to release the growth hormone. So this is the growth releasing factor. Growth releasing factor. So this will again releases the particular adenohypophysis or anterior lobe of pituitary. To release this factor, then the pituitary gland will release the hormone, the growth hormone. Then LRF. The next, that is LRF. So next factor, that is LRF. That is a fourth factor. LRF, that is luteinizing hormone releasing factor. You know the luteinizing hormone releasing factor. Releasing factor. So that will stimulate the anterior lobe and to secrete the luteinizing hormone. Then FRF, fifth, that is FRF. FRF, that is follicle releasing factor. Follicle releasing factor. Follicle releasing factor or follicle stimulating FSH. Follicle stimulating releasing factor. So that will causes released follicle stimulating hormone from the adenohypophysis. So without the secretion of this hormone, there will not be releasing growth follicle releasing hormone will not be released. Then there will not be stimulating hormone will be released by the adenohypophysis or pituitary. Then PIF. Next hormone, that is PIF. Sixth hormone, PIF. Sixth one, That is prolactin inhibitory factor. Prolactin inhibitory factor. So this will cause inhibition of the prolactin secretion from the anterior lobe. So why these different factors are useful? So these 5 factors will stimulate the anterior lobe to secrete the respective hormone. So this factor, without releasing this factor, is get encouraged, or these are giving encouragement to the pituitary gland to secrete that type of hormone, and that is important. That is respective in large quantity. These hormones are secreted, and also there will be inhibitory factors, and these inhibitory factors from the adenohypophysis secrete the excess of prolactin. So likewise there are several releasing factors are get stimulated, and this stimulation will give the suggestion, or these stimulation are provoked to the pituitary gland to secrete the particular type of hormone. And these secretions of the hormones by anterior lobe of pituitary is under control of neurohormones from the hypothalamus. So all these secretions are under control of neurohormones from the hypothalamus. And because of the powerful effect of these factors on the adenohypophysis, the major control of the anterior pituitary gland is exercised. And through stimulation, the inhibitory of the many neural control centers in the hypothalamus that turns regulate to output of the hypothalamic releasing inhibitory factors. So likewise here, these are the different hormonal activity, and they are under control, and through the pituitary gland is considered the master endocrine gland. Why it is? Because as far as the secretion of the various hormones are concerned, the secretory activity is altogether controlled by the hypothalamus, so that we are treating the particular gland is an endocrine gland, or it is a master endocrine gland, because majority of the secretions are governing by the pituitary gland, and that will useful to release the particular type of hormone from the particular gland. You know, there are several glands in the body, but they are not secreting their secretion by their own mind or by their own activity. Without releasing factor of the particular gland from the adenohypophysis, the particular gland in the body, for example the thyroid gland in the body, they will not secrete the thyroid hormone without secretion of the thyroid stimulating hormone from the anterior lobe of the pituitary. म्हणजे pituitary glandच्या adenohypophysis किंवा anterior lobe मधून if there is no secretion or if there is no releasing factor secreted, then there will not be the secretion of the pituitary gland. So likewise here, this particularly this hypophysis, or you can say the hypothalamic nuclei and their functions, so they are useful for various activities of the endocrine glands. The endocrine glands completely depends on the particular pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland will secrete such type of factors, and then there will be the particular glands in the body will get stimulated and they start their secretion. So likewise here, the particular glands will cause the particular secretions, and the neurosecretory substances are governing all the factors secretion of the adenohypophysis. So adenohypophysis secretions, this factor secretion is under control of neurohormones, and these particular factors will release the pituitary gland to give the intimation to the proper gland to secrete their secretion. So likewise there will be co-work played by these different glands in the body of particular animal. So likewise here we have finished the particular topic that is concerned with hypothalamus and pituitary gland and their particular hormones secreted concerned with the body regulations or body secretions, and so that the pituitary gland is treated as a master endocrine gland. So we have completed this topic. So next time we will start the new topic.